Hello everyone. Today I'm going to go through a new Foundry look and feel, and I will also focus on the Foundry control plane. But well, let's go first with the new look and feel. So this look and feel is still in the preview. When you first come to the Foundry, this is the welcome screen. You see that immediately you get your project endpoint, you get your API key so that you can start building. So it's very focused on starting building. Then you have some news, then you have some recent things that you did, and then actually it has a coding quick start. So you can actually start your agentic journey very, very fast. And actually you can run it in VS Code for web. In few minutes you can have your first agent running. So this is very, very streamlined right now. And also you have some docs, some GitHub, but we'll come to that later, and even some Discord. So this is the home area. Then you have the discover area. Discover area is about the models that are available, the tools that are available. So yeah, these are now all the models. Well, not all the models. You can see only a few of them. There is thousands of models, but you have some features models, and then now the models. I will go into models and you'll see. Now the models can be properly filtered. For example, collections direct from Azure or Foundry Labs. Capabilities, different capabilities of the model. Source, this is the producer of the model. So there is a lot more ways now to see models and then to, let's say, to choose a model that fits you the best. And the tools, well, this is, for example, MCP tools, MCP remote tools, MCP local tools, custom tools, also with different categories. So you can now definitely, if you have an idea, you can quite easily get to which tools you need to support your idea, for example. And then the last thing, but not least, solution templates. So the solution templates are starters for different categories of, let's say, of activities. So if you want to start with AI chat, you click on the solution template, and actually you don't see anything much here, but if you click on this button, open in GitHub, this now opens this project in GitHub. So you can pull the project on your computer, you can run it, and you can, here's a proper overview, and you can start working with AI with chat, for example, or with any of the other templates that are in here. So this is, everything is now streamlined to start quick and easy working with different aspects of Azure AI Foundry and different aspects actually with GenAI. Then the build area is where you build your capabilities. So you can build here agents, workflows. Then in here you can also say you can deploy some models. So this is the same thing as in the old Azure Foundry. So the old AI services that are still very, very useful are also here, and you can access them. Then you can fine tune models. Then tools, now also with MCP servers, for example, but I will not go into this. Then have the knowledge and data. Well, actually, both are more or less, both should be unified eventually, because data is the knowledge, and some data you just call the knowledge, or maybe you can say, okay, well, I just call the knowledge like the gold type of data in this medallion framework. But for me, data is more or less equals to knowledge. But anyway, in here there is a separate split between data and knowledge, and of course, very, very important, evaluations. You should evaluate your models, or more or less you must evaluate your models to make sure that your models behave properly, and in here is the way to do it. And then you can do it through some catalogs, and you can also do red teaming, where you define where you try to break the model or models. And then there are some guardrails. In here there are two by default, but you can make guardrails. This I did not try, but expect it looks the same as previously. and also block list. Yeah, you can put a list of sites that, or words, or regular expressions that will then be blocked in the model conversation mode. And then this is the last thing, and this is the command plane or control plane. In here you can see the overview of, well, you start with the overview. You can see alert. So what this gives you is a good thing, and that is if there are problems, this overview gives you a view of the problems. That is the most important thing to do. You can sort it by subscription and projects. See what are the running agents. You see what the estimated costs. Very, very important. Agent success rate. Well, if you have alerts, maybe this is not important. Token usage. Again, if you have costs, this may not be so important. But again, it's there. And then you can see, okay, what are the volume over time, what is the volume for different agents, what is the success rate, what is the success rate trends. And you would say, well, why the agent would not be succeeded? Well, there can be many, many reasons. The tools maybe did not work, or there was a hateful speech, and there were guardrails that were prohibiting hateful speech, so the agents did not succeed, etc., etc. So in here you can see and you can check these. Then there are assets. These are either agents. For example, I have here one agent that actually has one policy, but we'll come to that I think later. Then, and again, this is a global control plane. So this is for the super admin. You can see it now for all the subscriptions that I guess you are admin of, and for all the projects in these subscriptions. So this is a very high level view. Now, again, this has yeah, this could maybe be better because like this is the project. Yeah, the project names are like quite how to say, quite constrained. So what you can put as the name of the project is quite constrained because it is also used in a sense as the idea of that project. I would prefer if in here there would be some kind of short description of the project, with something similar for better semantic connection between what are the projects, and such that the admins can see really these projects are maybe making problems or using too much money, so I need to control them better. Okay, now anyway, so there are models, models, and also you have overview of tools. Yeah, you can see which tools are there. Very nice way to control these things. Then after this, the compliance quota, but I will skip to admin and then I'll go back to compliance quota. So what you can do here, you can do administrator projects. For projects, you can add users, you can see what are the connected resources. So for each project, you can you can control each project in a little bit more detail. Yeah. And AI Gateway, but that's something that I was talking, I think, in one of my previous videos. Uh, One way to control access to models that is, I think, even more advanced than through this control plane is through gateway, API gateway. And this is a way to connect this AI gateway to your AI Foundry so that you can control better some access to models. But I will not go into this. Let's go into the quota first. Well, quota is, well, as you know, the models and the models that are not pre-provisioned, and in here there is provisioned throughput. These models have a limited quota that is shared amongst all your subscriptions, amongst all your regions or regions in subscriptions. And in here you can see what is the quota, and you can increase or ask for increase in quota. And this is for the provision throughput units, which we don't have here. Okay, and then the last but not least, compliance. So in here there's policies, and policies are in a sense very similar to guardrails. So the guardrails are applied to models, but policies are similar to guardrails. They have similar structure, and actually we are not going to make one. So we say, okay, this is the risk I want uh, to address. For example, sexual risks. Severity level low. So I want to, as soon as somebody says something that is a little bit sexual, this policy should trigger, and it should trigger on user output or input, or user input of the output of the LM, and then what is the action? You can annotate block, annotate the node. So you can say, okay, I added this control. You can add more controls and then say next. Now you say, okay, where do this apply to? You can apply to subscription resource group. So this is nice. And you say, okay, my resource group is Zombie. Let's see if you can mind this resource group. No. Well, anyway, you can apply to a resource group, and then you say, okay, you can add models that are accepted from this. So you can say, okay, these models, for example, you have some models that you're actually testing on, you don't want them to be included in these policies. You can add them and say, okay, I give it the name, I give it, what is it? I submit it, and then I make a policy. So this one is, for example, test policy for hate. This was my resource group with PRC, and no exceptions added. Yeah. And then here you'll see what are the assets and what are the assets in compliance. Now in here there is one last thing, and that is security posture. Well, the security posture at this moment, yeah, it is a little bit complex, because you can turn on Microsoft Purview, and then you can go to Microsoft Purview portal, and then you should be able to set the Purview policies, but it is not so clear how to set these policies. I guess to some compliance assessments. Again, I'm not really sure. I'm not Purview expert, so I will not go into this, but there is a way to set up some policies in Purview that will then be applied to your Microsoft Foundry models. Okay, so that was it for now. The Foundry has a new look and feel. It is a very nice look and feel. It's going into good direction. I think I would like even more control options in the control plane. But I think that this is still a new technology. It will improve. So stay tuned for more good things. Thank you and goodbye.